everybody, it's Lon Seidman, and it's time for your weekly wrap-up, and we had a bunch of things happen on the channel this week, including a bunch of new Patreon subscribers I wanted to thank. So we have AJ Pocan, Chris, Christian Montes, Grant Oldman, Cal Restham, Lawrence Olberding, Marcus Padeja, MP, Scott Milan, and Lauren Howe, who upgraded his pledge. I want to thank all of you for your contributions to the channel. If your name is not correct on here, this is what Patreon gives me. So if you want me to add your last name to the credits or something that roll at the end of my videos, send me an email at lon@lon.tv and I will correct those right away, because I definitely want to get everyone's name straight for our end credits here. So I want to thank all of you for contributing, and I'll talk more about Patreon later on in the video. So we looked at a lot of stuff this week, a lot of cool stuff actually. We took a look at the new Steam Machine from Alienware. This is a mini gaming PC with a pretty decent GPU on board running the Steam OS. It's actually the same as the Alienware Alpha, except it is running Steam OS versus Windows. So you can check out that review linked above. We've got to look at the Microsoft Surface Book, a really nice and fancy laptop from Microsoft. Not inexpensive, but I made up for it by looking at this very inexpensive Windows PC. 99 bucks for the Kangaroo Windows 10 PC. 2 gigs of RAM, a Cherry Trail processor. Nice little computer actually for the money. I was quite pleased with that, and it actually has a licensed version of Windows for that price too. You can't even buy a Windows license for 99 bucks. Here you get the computer with it. So a good deal. You can check that out in our master playlist linked above and below. We looked at the Lenovo Chromebook 100S. We also took a look at the new Xbox One wireless controller adapter. So if you've got an Xbox One controller right now hooked up to your computer, likely it is connected with a cable. Now you can get rid of the cable and use that little dongle if you wish. However, it only works on Windows 10, nothing else. No Mac, no Android, nothing. Just Windows 10 and that's it. But if you are a Windows 10 gamer, you might like that because it works pretty well. We also looked at that Kangaroo PC and streaming games via Steam and Xbox One over our network to that $100 device. So while you can't really run a high-end game on that device directly, you can stream to it directly, and it ran very, very nicely. So you can check out that video too and get a sense as to how it performs for 100 bucks. So in some news this week, you probably all saw this Wall Street Journal article about the speculation that Google was going to end Chrome OS and just merge it with Android, and Google relatively quickly came back and said, no, that's not what we're trying to do. We're just kind of merging features and everything else. And I think Google's explanation of what's going on is more likely. I would imagine there's some roadmap somewhere where at some point both of these things are going to converge into one master operating system, but we're not there yet. I think they're trying to figure out exactly what it will be, because the desktop experience for Chrome OS is very different than what Android is, and I think they're slowly moving in some Android features into Chrome to see how it all functions. We've been seeing that there are Android apps running in Chrome OS now for the last year, like Evernote being a great example of that. So I think it's going to happen, but I don't think it's going to be a collision or a violent end to one and a beginning of another one. It's going to be more of a slow dance and eventually a merger of some kind where you'll have a desktop iteration of Android that feels very much like Chrome OS, and then of course the mobile experience that will be more exclusively Android. But I think you're going to see features kind of moving back and forth between these two things as time goes on. Google does say, and I've read this in one of the articles, that they guarantee your Chromebook will be upgraded for at least 5 years from the time that you buy it. So that's a really good length of time for upgradability. So I think if you have a Chromebook, don't worry. You're going to get features. You may or may not like them, but I don't think you're going to see your investment be cut off at any point in the near future. So for 150 bucks is what a lot of these Chromebooks go for. You'll have a computer that will work and be upgraded for quite some time. And I also signed up for YouTube Red this week, and I've been very pleased with the experience. I'm running the YouTube client here on my iPad, and what's nice is that if I click on a video, it just starts playing immediately. There's no delay. In the past, there was a little bit of a delay, even if an ad wasn't going to play, because the client running on your device had to go out to the YouTube ad server to see if there was an ad, and that took a little bit of time, not a lot, but enough that it wasn't an immediate press play kind of experience for me. And this really feels better, which is funny because it's such a subtle thing, but it really feels nicer. So there's an ad-free experience to it. You can also download videos to watch them offline. So for example, I can just grab this video right here. It's going to save it into my YouTube client here on my iPad. This works on Android as well as iOS. And if you're going somewhere where you don't have really good data, or you don't want to kill your mobile plan, you can download all your movies on Wi-Fi before you leave the house and have them on your device to watch later. It even keeps them in a really nice little playlist on here. So if I go over to my little icon here and go to save videos, you can see all the videos that I have downloaded, which I can play from here. I can take them out of the queue. So it's a nice little queuing feature too, where you can kind of bulk up all the videos that you want to watch. and watch them later when you are able to without killing your data plan. So that was nice. Another thing too that they're doing with this is that you can listen to audio in the background now, again, both on Android and iOS, which is something you couldn't do before. So I have a lot of long form interviews that I want to listen to, and I didn't really want to watch them because you have to leave the iPad on and let the video play, even if I wasn't looking at the video. Now I can go ahead and start playing those things, and then if I have headphones attached here, the iPad will continue playing them. If I close the app, I can also have it under any condition play back that stuff in the background. So you can have it even know if you have headphones attached or external speakers to allow you to play back in the background, and if you don't, it won't do it. Or you can just have it on all the time and just back out of your app there and be able to listen to things offline. So they've added some nice features on top of the ad-free experience, which is really nice. And you get a Google Play Music subscription too. So all those things together, I think it's a pretty good deal, for me at least. I actually consume as much content as I create on YouTube. So I really wanted to do this just because I think it helps the creators that I like better than me watching ads for them, and my experience gets better too. So I'm pleased with it. It may not be for everybody. I don't think, I'm not expecting anyone to sign up for it. I'm going to provide my content free of charge no matter what, but I think it is a better YouTube experience. And if you are someone who watches a lot of YouTube, I think you're going to like it, and it's probably worth the investment. Even if it doesn't give you anything new in the content area, you will get some features that you don't currently have. And I found those to be very, very useful features. I was pleased with that. So this week we got a bunch of stuff planned. I'm going to be interviewing somebody from Alienware about the new Steam machine and what went into designing it and the hardware behind it, because this thing is a lot smaller than the Xbox One I've got in the other room, yet it's a lot more powerful, even at its lowest configurations. And we'll talk about some of the engineering decisions that went into that, as well as where they see Steam OS going and maybe the future of living room gaming and PCs also. So we'll have a nice, well-rounded interview there. If you have some questions you'd like for me to ask, get them in tonight, because I'm interviewing him in the morning at some point. So I want to get all your questions in before I talk to him. So be on the lookout for that interview. I'll get that one up this week. I also have an Apple TV arriving tomorrow, and I will be putting it through its paces tomorrow night. And hopefully by Wednesday or Thursday, I'll have my review up so you can get a feel for my opinion of it. This has gotten a lot of attention already by other reviewers, so I'm going to be taking a little bit more time with it to understand it and let you know my thoughts on that. I think what I'm also going to do is come up with a roundup of all of these boxes that I've used and make some recommendations. There's not going to be a single best box for every application, so I'm going to make a couple of recommendations of what I think are the best boxes for particular use cases, because each one has something that the other one doesn't have to some degree. So we'll be very eager to see how this works. And I also saw that Plex is also available now for the Apple TV too. So they're finally allowing other apps on board, including Plex, which I know a lot of people are going to be very eager to see running on this new platform. So that will be there, and you'll be able to check that out. I also got in that NixPlay frame that I did the interview about a couple of weeks ago, and I'm really pleased with it, actually. It's got a very nice remote access kind of approach to managing it. So if you have family members that are not very tech savvy, you can actually manage the photo frame remotely once you get it on their Wi-Fi network. And I'll show you how it works. It is as good as I thought it was going to be. I think it's a really neat little photo frame that accomplishes something I've been looking for a long time for a few family members. It's going to be on my holiday list. And I also got in a new network attached storage device from QNAP, and this one could finally be the one that will actually transcode some of those Blu-ray videos with Plex in real time. So we're going to be putting it through its paces. I haven't tried it yet. It's still in the box. But I am eager to see it if it can keep up with what I'm going to throw at it. I believe it's running with a Celeron processor, I think along the Broadwell line or so. So it might be a little bit more powerful than we've seen before out of some of these NAS devices. It also has HDMI built in too, so it can actually act as a video player directly without having to have a computer or a box in the middle. So we'll be looking at it for its home theater potential as well. So that one might be a weekend project for me, because there's a lot of things I got to try out with this thing. I might need a little bit more time than a weekday. So be on the lookout. Hopefully by next week sometime we'll have that one up too. So a lot of stuff on the horizon, and who knows what might show up in the meantime too that will throw the plan off here. So we'll be continually pumping out content as fast as I can make it. If you want to help the channel, you can. You can go to lon.tv/Patreon and make a monthly contribution to the channel, or you can make a one-time contribution at lon.tv through YouTube fan funding. As always, those dollars go into buying a lot of the inexpensive items that I review on the channel and then resell. So I lose some money on that transaction, and that fund helps with that. A great example of what I use those funds for are that Kangaroo mini PC that I bought for $99. Those are the kinds of things that I'm always on the lookout for, and I know a lot of you are eager to see. see. So I buy them, review them, and then you can make your decision as to whether or not you want to buy it. And I know a lot of you have spent a lot of money because of me, and I apologize for that, but I hope all your gadgets are in good homes and having fun too. So if you want to connect with the channel, you can do that at lon.tv/email. You can also find me at Facebook at lon.tv/Facebook. The email thing, by the way, is my email list, and I have not sent out an email in a long time, but I will be soon. I'm going to be doing a live stream where we're giving away 2 of those complete Valve game packs. So get on that email list as soon as I get everybody. It's logistics here, guys. I got to get people over to my house. I got to buy food. So hopefully within the next week or two, I'll have a date certain for that, and I'll let you know when that will be. And we'll have a form up that you can use to apply for the giveaway. So again, 2 complete Valve game licenses. It's going to be a very good one. So we'll be doing that. And we've got our forums at lon.tv/forums. So if you want to connect with me and other viewers, you can do that there as well. And I've been really behind on responding to YouTube comments lately, and I apologize for that. There's just so many coming in that I used to be able to reply to everyone, and it's getting a lot harder to do that. So I'm doing my best, but if I didn't reply to you, please don't take it personally, but do go over to the forums. And I'm a little bit better on the forums replying to folks because there's less of a volume there. So if I missed something that you asked, do ask it over there, and I'll answer, and maybe some other viewers might be able to help out too. So that will do it for this week's weekly wrap-up. I'm going to go edit this and go to bed because it's late again, and I am still sitting here making videos, which I love doing. So I really appreciate all that you do for the channel. Please keep those questions and comments coming in. If I don't reply, I am looking at just about every single one of them. So know that I am getting those comments, and I really appreciate all of your feedback. And until next time, this is Lon Seidman. Thanks for watching. Is brought to you by the generosity of my Patreon supporters. If you find the channel helpful, you too can contribute for as little as $1 a month. Visit lon.tv